welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. Give you a rundown on all the things on my pull list, things I'm looking forward to read, variants that are coming out, and generally anything you should be aware of before you go to your shop this Wednesday to pick up your new releases. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang out for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, let's start with my pull list. This is my personal pull list. This is that top of the pile type stuff that I can't wait to get a hold of and read once I get my books this new comic book Wednesday. And starting us off with the books that I can't wait to read and finish is the final part of Tinian's Let This One Be a Devil. True weird story takes place in New Jersey, focused in on the Jersey Devil. I am from New Jersey, so this is kind of topical and, for the area around me. And I enjoyed this story so far, and I'm looking forward to the finale, the finish here with issue 4 of this mini-series. Only 2 covers. I kind of like the A. The B's not bad either. I'm not too worried about which one I get because, like I said, I just want to read what's inside of it. I'm not too concerned about the cover here, but I'm good with either of these as they're both pretty solid. But this series is wrapping up, and I'm looking forward to finishing up it as well. Now, I thought we were getting this last week, but no, we are getting issue 5 of Mark Spear's Monsters this week. It feels like it's been a while, but no, it hasn't. 4 came out not that long ago, so this came up a little bit quicker than the bi-monthly schedule we had previously, before all the issues with Diamond and then Keen Spot moving, publishers, etc., caused some delays, to be fair, but I'm still on board to read more Monsters, and we still get issue 5 of Mark Spear's, little series here, continuing this week with multiple covers, as you might guess. Open order, we got a cover A here. Open order, got a cover B featuring the bride. We got another open order homage that goes back to ASM. What is it? 313, I think. I can't remember the number. It's the one with the lizard. The lizard cover where he's attacking spiders. One of my favorite McFarlane covers with the lizard, and I like the rendition here that Spears does with the Wolfman. I dig it. And then we have another Marvel homage with New Mutants 98 being done here with this issue 5 here. So pretty cool. I think I like the ASM better personally, so that's the one I'm definitely going to make sure that I grab. But I do believe I got a couple of these different covers. I might have even gotten all the open orders. I can't remember what I pre-ordered on my DCBS order months and months ahead. Because when you ordered months and months ahead, you can generally get a good discount, and they're only like half cover. So when I get half price, and it's like 2 for 1, so I get a lot of extra books that way. With that said, the final open order cover is this one here with the Snake Lady, and then this is also one of the flip book foil covers that you can get that actually has a higher upfront charge. It's $20 to buy it at the outset, but it's got a foil on one side. I forget what the cover is on the other side, but it's a flip foil book. And then there is a $100 metal cover too, if you want to go and buy that as well. Not most shops are going to order this just to have on hand, so you either had to pre-order this ahead of time or you order directly from Keen Spot's website or something like that to get one of these metals. I'm not a metal comic book cover collector because it seems kind of weird to glue a piece of metal to a comic book, but hey, to each their own. If you like it, cool. It's just not my thing. I have a couple. They're just not my favorite covers because, again, to me, it's a little weird sticking something just on the cover like that. With that said, we do have an incentive as well. There is a 1 in 25 on this book, and I kind of like it. I like how it has one of those old school EC horror kind of like, it's a scene set. I mean, there's dialogue and everything, but leaving the bride all tied up, I kind of think it's cool. So I like this 1 in 25 here as well. But you can find this actually out there if you want to order. It's right around ratio, maybe a touch more, maybe a touch less, depending on where you might be ordering from. So it is something that you can probably grab if you're still interested in getting one of these incentives these days. Because I know those early ones were really, really tough. But now as the popularity of the series has grown, so have the orders. So it is not as hard to get a hold of as it once was. It's still not readily available at every shop out there, but it is definitely more available than it was when it began because, again, the demand is there and kind of it grew. Now, up next, we're going over to DC, and I got to tell you, once again, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, ongoing title right now, and it's Batgirl. So issue 8, they're continuing the Untold History, the Book of Shiva. I'm down. I'm still down to read this. I'm digging this story. I'm digging this comic. So it is one of my favorites right now. So I highly recommend it. If you haven't read Batgirl, give it a try from start up through 8. Well, I didn't read 8 yet, but 1 through 7. Chef recommends. 2 covers here. Cover A. We got a cover B option here. I like them both. I might lean towards the B a little bit more, but you can save $1 by just getting the cover A because it's DC. Cover A is generally $1 cheaper than the other covers with the thicker cardstock covers. With that said, sticking at DC, we have Absolute Green Lantern number 3 coming out. I'm still into this for now. I'm still curious to see how they're going to make some twists and turns with the Green Lantern mythos, and I'm down. So far, so good. I'm into Green Lantern and the Flash and Wonder Woman so far. Batman and Superman, not so much. Even Master Manhunter are probably on the bottom half for the Absolute. For me, I know it's different for all. And Green Lantern is maybe 3. It might be 3. I don't know, somewhere in there. A couple of covers here. Cover A. We got a cover B here. We got some more open order options like right there. And then we got a 1 in 25 here as well. And then there is a 1 in 50, which will take that other cover and we'll take a little bit of that trade dress off and make that a 1 in 50 there. So boom, those are your options. You can get these relatively cheap. I think you can get the 1 in 25 off of Midtown for less than $10. And then the 1 in 50 is maybe in the 20s. So these books and these incentives, if you're interested, they're out there for well below ratio. Moving on over to Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man number 5, as they are churning and burning their way towards the issue 1000 of ASM. These things seem to come out every couple of weeks. I don't know if it's on a bi-weekly schedule or what, but man, ASM just don't stop. With issue 5 coming out this week, looking forward to it, enjoying it so far. I think I misspoke when I was doing my dollar bin digging and said Massendale. Jason Massendale was the Hobgoblin, but no, this is Kingsley. That's right, I forgot. Roderick Kingsley is this Hobgoblin, but who knows? Maybe we get some more Hobgoblins along the way. Stranger things have happened. Cover A option here. Plenty of good ones on this one as well. I do like this one here, this B cover. I think this is Joelle Jones. I just kind of like the scene playing out there with Black Cat and her dropping all the money, etc. Even this one ain't bad as our C cover. We do have a design cover option here as well, if you're into that. I'm not really a big fan of the design covers, nor do I know this Marvel Rivals skin that they're trying to show off here. It's just not my favorite. And then there is a spoiler cover option here, which I don't really get what it's spoiling, but okay. Maybe it's that the goblin has a goblin face. I don't know. Or that he's got a flaming sword. I guess, no, he's got a flaming sword to cover A. I don't know what's being spoiled here. Maybe the bat wings. Maybe he's got the bat wings. Maybe it's Demi-Goblin is showing up here. Maybe that's what's going on. I'm just guessing because, again, I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what's in the guts of the book yet. But there is our spoiler cover. It's probably Demi-Goblin showing up back again. And I forget which one of those guys this is. And I think it was one of those other Jack-o'-lantern hobgoblins that I covered on Dollar Bin Digging. So go back and check that one out. With that said, there is a 1 in 25 here as well. Old school JR doing a hobgoblin here. Then we do have a 1 in 100, which is that cover A with the trade dress kind of taken off. And I kind of like how the trade dress is still worked into the image, but like their barcodes and our issue numbers, etc., those being wiped away. It's actually not a bad cover. I like it. As far as a 1 in 100 goes, I'm not paying 1 in 100 prices or anything close to it, but it is kind of a cool cover if you are collecting in that way. Moving on, getting a tease of the world to come. Quesada, Priest, Marvel Knights. You remember Marvel Knights? All 25 years ago now, I think. I think it started in like 2000, or maybe it was 1999. They just did an anniversary not that long ago, but it appears we're getting some more Marvel Knights action coming our way. The future of the Marvel Universe is here. Kind of curious. I'll pick this up and see what's going on. A lot more text here. If you want to go through it, you can. I'm not reading the whole thing for it, but it looks like we got a good Black Panther focus on this issue. And like I said, I'm going to pick this up. Not sure which cover to get yet, because cover A is not bad. I mean, there's a lot of trade dress there, but it's still a cool image down at the bottom. I do like the claw scratches. It looks like it's going across like a person's flesh a little bit. Like I thought this was like a dude's chest that was getting scratched up. I'm like, I don't know about all that, but yeah, it's not bad. There's a sketch. I'm probably not going to get the sketch because I'm not going to get a sketch done. The Panosian's not bad. It's not my favorite Panosian, but the Panosian's not bad, so I may get that one. If I'm really have to be pressed on it, I think my favorite is the David Mack. I think the David Mack here with Storm and Black Panther and just the way that it's outlined and the framing of it, I dig this. So that might be my favorite, though. The Swaby's not bad here either. So you got Josh Sway doing that. And then we do have a 1 in 25. So there's a 1 in 25 option. There is also a 1 in 50 option, which is the Sway, and we'll take away the trade dress, and boom, there you go. We got the Virgin. And then the 1 in 100 is that claw scratching cover without the trade dress, and that'll be our 1 in 100 because that is what Marvel likes to do. And don't forget that this week there is also a special one per store Marvel, I guess the shop's got given a copy. So there's going to be, one of these out there, which was a black and white version of that cover A. So if you got a good, relationship with your shop, maybe you can get it at a good price. But keep an eye on this one because there may not be as many as you might think. Because Penguin and, Marvel's only going through Penguin Random House these days, not going through Diamond. So all those previous people who might have accounts with Diamond as well as Penguin would get a copy from here and a copy from there. That's not going to happen anymore, considering there's only one account that you can get Marvel books from now. So there may, in theory, be less of these one per store, one per account books, thanks to that, exclusivity. So something to keep an eye on going forward. Again, don't know if multiple copies still might get sent to some places. I'm just saying logic dictates that there shouldn't be extras. That's all. With that said, before we move on, I want to remind anybody out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, use my link below to sign up and give it a try. Get yourselves a free $15 on your first purchase to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You hop out the channel just by signing up and using that free $15, and you get yourself something nice with that free money. So again, no harm, no foul, just to give it a try. Just give it a try if you haven't already. Now, with that said, let's catch up on our viewer recommendations from last week. So last week we did have a viewer recommendation. I did power through and got through the recommendation of our friend, is it D. Craven? D. Craven told us that we should all check out Mad Cave's Kill Train. So Kill Train wrapped up last week with issue 5. And I tried to catch up and read the whole series over a few days, but kind of sped through it. Might need to go back just to kind of make sure I didn't miss anything or kind of, quick read anything, but I did enjoy it. So I will say this was a good recommendation, and I would suggest if you're interested, go pick it up. It's pretty cool. As far as that goes, let's look at my recommendations as well. So last week, I believe I recommended, I forget what I recommended. It doesn't matter what I recommended last week. We're not going to do that because it was my recommendation. So I'm not going to tell you what I think of it this week because it was my recommendation after all. So this week's recommendation is a recommendation on The Blind. Haven't read this issue yet because it's not out yet. But coming out this week, I can guarantee I'm going to like it because I know what I like and I'm biased. So I'm looking forward to Imperial. Hickman doing Cosmic Universe stuff. I'm down. We're getting Nova. We're getting some Planet Hulk stuff. I'm interested in this. This is in my wheelhouse. I like Marvel Cosmic stuff. I've been wanting more of this. I hope they do more of this with the movies and the MCU. Who knows what they're going to do ultimately, but this is what I'm looking for. Nova, Guardians, Cosmic stuff. This is again, something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, it's not a pile of crap. So I'm recommending it because I'm putting my faith in Hickman. Hickman is a solid writer and can start a storyline. Finishing, well, we'll worry about that later. Starting, I'm on board. So I'm going to be picking this up. So a lot of covers. Cover A. B cover here. I think this one's a connector. So as they go and connect, I'll show you what it looks like as we move through it. There's a Peach Momoko, which actually is pretty solid. I kind of like this Peach Momoko a lot, actually. With, I guess, She-Hulk here. We got a Nova done by Scotty Young. Also pretty fun. We've got Hulk. All as a Granoff. Really Hulk in his Planet Hulk attire. All looking like a gladiator. We've got that option here as well. And we've got Mercado doing a Deathbird. So it looks like we're getting some... why am I drawing a blank on that alien race? Why am I drawing a blank? So we've got the Skrulls. We've got the Kree. We've got the Shi'ar. That's who it is. Shi'ar. See? I just had to take a second. The Shi'ar. So it looks like we got a Deathbird cover here. Going to get some of those crazy characters, maybe some Gladiator and some of the Imperial Guard mixed in here as well. Again, I loved all that stuff, so I'm hoping to see more of it. 1 in 25 here as well. We've got Star-Lord and Nova going at it. Looks like Richard Rider Nova. There is a Jim Lee Hidden Gems variant, as well as which is the one at 50, which has some of those Imperial Guard that I mentioned with Gladiator, etc. We have a 1 in 100 option as well, which is that Grand Off Planet Hulk Centurion Gladiator with the the trade dress all removed. So it's a virgin version of that. And then they're giving you even a second 1 in 100 option, which is the Deathbird, also getting the virgin treatment for a 1 in 100. So 2 1 in 100 options on this book this week, which is not typical, but hey, it happens sometimes. So pick whichever one you like. I don't think anything's really standing out as far as pre-sales go just yet, but keep an eye on it. I'm looking forward to it. So that's why it's my recommendation for this week. Now, as far as taste test goes, this is going to be a title that I'm challenging myself to go and try, something I may not have read in a while or something new that's coming out. This time out, I'm actually going with something that I haven't read in a while, but I'm kind of interested because I hear that it's wrapping up. And that is, I'm sorry. Before we get to that, I should cover last week. So last week I said, let me take a dip back into Superman and see how Superman's doing. You got the red kryptonite. We got Lois losing her powers. Sorry if I'm spoiling things, because now it's a couple of issues now. And so I don't think I'm spoiling it too much, but Lois without her powers now. Superman getting angry. I figured let's give it a shot and see what issue 26 had to offer during the summer of Superman as we prep for the movie. And I gotta say, I kind of liked it. I'm not a big Superman reader, though, so I don't expect myself to last long term on the title. But for now, I'm kind of interested in the story they're telling and just want to see where it's going to go. So I'll probably give this a shot for a couple of issues. But once again, I'm just not a huge Superman reader. I gloss over a lot. I've been in and out over the decades. I expect more of the same. With that said, I gave all the preface to the book that I was looking forward to this week, and I forgot that we had to talk about Superman. So now let's shift back to the book that I'm going to challenge myself to read and catch up on this week, which is The Immortal Thor, which should be wrapping up in one more issue. So this is the penultimate issue, issue 24. Issue 25 will be the final of the run by Al Ewing. I don't know. When series start to come towards the end, I start to get curious again to see how they wrap up and also start anew. So I'm curious to see what happens this week. So gorgeous Alex Ross covers throughout this run. This is more of the same. Let's see where it goes from here. Multiple options as well. There's a cover. There's a B cover there. We got a design cover here as well, featuring Loki with a Marvel Rivals get up there. We have a connecting cover here, which is this guy that's actually going to be in the middle because, again, the storyline started last month and it's going to wrap up next issue. So last issue, next issue. So when we put all three together, that will be our final even an Immortal Can Die. So boom and boom is what we'll be looking at. So last issue, current issue, next issue, all form one little piece all together. All right. Now, before we get into the rest of the show, another reminder for any of you out there who need supplies: bags, boards, long boxes, short boxes, CGC boxes, top loaders, pages for your cards, top loaders for your cards. Basically, if you need anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe, there's a product over at BCW. And if you order and use my code RENA10, you save 10% off your entire order. It's 10% off everything. So you're buying stuff that you got to get anyway to keep your stuff safe. Might as well save some money while you do it. So use that code RENA10 to save 10% off. Because again, you help out the channel and you save yourself a couple of bucks with the discount. So it's good for all. Now, with that said, let's keep it rolling and check out Writing It Out. Now, this is basically just an extension of my pull list. Maybe some titles that I'm a little behind on actually reading, but I'm still getting them on the regular. So this is still part of my pull list. I'm still picking up all these books. It's just I'm going to see them through mostly to the end. Either it's a book that I'm not going to drop at all. I'm either behind on reading it, or I may be behind on reading it, but I'm going to get the entire mini-series or story arc, whatever we're working with here. Now, with that said, let's see what we're writing out this week with. And our first book is Absolute Superman. Because again, I'm still running like an issue or two behind on reading this. I'm slowly catching up, but I'm just not there yet. Because again, I'm just being honest. Superman's not my favorite character. So sometimes his book gets pushed to the bottom of the pile as new ones come in. And you start to fall behind. I'm sure you guys know what I'm getting at. So eventually I'll catch up. But for now, I've liked this series enough that I want to keep it going. I'm not ready to get rid of it yet, even though it looks like they're starting a new arc here. This would be a perfect time to either jump on or jump off, but I'm going to keep it rolling for now. Cover A option here. We got a Clayton Crane B there. There is another C cover right here. When Brandon Peterson, I think, did that one. We got a 1 in 25 option as well. And then we can take that Clayton Crane, take that little bit of trade dress off of it and make that the 1 in 50. So as you can see, not much difference between the trade dress and the 1 in 50, but it's out there. Now, next title. It's one I'm caught up on because I've just recently jumped back in. So Birds of Prey issue 22. I'm just kind of seeing through this next story arc because I did this as a taste test to get back into the title. I enjoyed it, so I'm just going to read it for a little bit longer. How much longer? I don't know. But for now, I'm on board for a little bit here to see what's going on with the Birds of Prey crew. Cover A here. We got like sort of a design cover or a little stick-em dress up. I don't know what you would call this, but big Barda cover there. We've got karaoke cover here, I guess. They're singing Batman on the cover C. And then we got a 1 in 25 big Barda option here as well. I'm fine just getting the A because, like I said, I just want to read this. Up next, Farmhand. Enjoyed the initial run. Still not caught up with the new series that's come back. I mean, we only got a couple of issues in, but it's there. I'm going to get them anyway because I like the Rob Guillory's storyline here, or story that started. So I'm assuming I'm going to like where he's at now. I put a lot of faith in creators. If I like something before, I will pick up something a few issues before I even open them up and read them before I play some catch up sometimes. And that's the case here. Just like I've fallen behind on Real American Hero. I'm up to date on the Energon G.I. Joes, but the Real American Hero Larry Hama run, I've been in and out, so I'm kind of a little bit behind on reading this one, but it's still there. Cover A option here. B is just a black and white of it, and then there is a 1 in 10, which is one of my favorite variants. But this entire run of these negative space variants have been really, really good, and this Scarlet is it's right on par with the rest. So I dig it. I ordered it, so I'm going to be getting that. Wrapping up. So this one will be dropping here soon, but with the final issue, the moon is following us. I still got to finish reading this storyline. I read the first few issues, and then it's been piling up since then. But Daniel Warren Johnson, again, you've put faith in creators that you like. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the rest of this read once I get to it. But this is the final issue that I got to pick up because the story ends here with issue 10. 2 cover options. I believe I'm getting the Daniel Warren Johnson B cover, but you can pick whichever one that you like. Daredevil's in one of those titles like ASM and Uncanny X-Men and X-Men that I'm just going to keep getting no matter what. I don't foresee myself dropping the series anytime soon, despite the fact that I'm a little bit behind, nor am I really happy to see this old school outfit back. I don't know. The black suit wasn't my favorite run of all time. Like that Fall from Grace stuff was okay, but the Scott McDaniel with the black suit, I don't know. It got a little bit too 90s at the time. But that all said, I'm just behind on reading this, but I'm going to be picking up my Daredevils. Cover A is all right. It's a JR cover, so it's also not my favorite. It looks like he's fighting one of those Last of Us sporehead mushroom people. But I do like the B. This B cover with Murdoch inside the DD logo, I dig this. So this is almost made one of my favorite covers of the week. Almost, but there was a lot of competition this week. There's a lot of good stuff. So almost made it, but that'll be the one I want to ask for this week, the B cover. Also, I'm only like an issue or so behind on this one, but I have enjoyed the Storm run. I've told you before, I've enjoyed the Storm solo series, but I do feel like I'm pretty sure I'm 1 or if not 2 issues behind now. After they finished that first arc around like issue 6 or so, I'm a little bit behind, but I still like it, so I'm still going to be getting it. With that said, issue 9, multiple covers here, not many, just an A and a B, and then a 1 in 25 by Jeff DeCall. I don't know how you say his name properly, but it's an awesome 1 in 25. I dig it. I like it. I don't know if I'm going to pay up for it because this one might get a little pricey this week. Something to keep an eye on. But I like it. I will say that. As I mentioned earlier, another title I'm not going to drop or see a break in my run, X-Men. So X-Men 17. Yes, I need to play catch up here, but I'm going to keep getting these. As we get more of these 3K X-Men, and we get a 3K X-Men cover, as well as a really awesome, probably my favorite cover of the week by Puppeteer Lee. More magic with the Demon Child coming through. I really like this Puppeteer Lee, and that cover is open order. So with the trade dress, I'm fine with it, because as you might guess, despite the fact that we do have a 1 in 25 with Magneto chilling there, there is a 1 in 50, which is a virgin version of that Puppeteer Lee, which again is really nice. It's really nice, but I'm good enough with the trade dress. I think the version is better than the trade dress, but for the price difference, I'm fine with the trade dress. Now, on to some titles that I'm on the fence about. Now, these are some books that I might keep getting, or I might decide enough is enough and I'm out and I'm dropping them. Not a lot here on the fence this week, but there are a couple. A couple I'm just not so sure if I can keep going. And they both revolve around, again, another one of those characters. I feel like you guys are probably getting tired of hearing me say it, but a personal thing, Wolverine, I just get tired of it pretty quickly. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. As a solo character, Wolverine titles lose my interest, including Laura Kinney's Wolverine. And I enjoyed the start of this series. But now I just feel like, I'm after a story arc or two, I just start to go, okay, do I need to keep getting this? And as my attention gets drawn elsewhere so easily. So we'll see. I'm on the fence of whether to keep up with this. This is Legacy issue 75, after all. Even though it's issue 7 for her couple of runs as Wolverine, this is issue 75. A couple of cover options here with the A, pretty solid B cover, and then there is a really sweet 1 in 25 by Godtail that I do like. I like the anime kind of manga vibe here with it. I feel like I'm looking at like Ninja Scroll but X-Men, and it's just a cool look. So that is one of my favorite incentives this week. Mentioning Wolverine, the Ultimate Wolverine is another one. We're here at issue 6. And again, I know the storyline's kind of cool. We're seeing how they change and tweak characters. It's kind of fun, but at the same time, my interest just gets easily diverted after a while. And at issue 6, I start seeing, I don't know, that I might not be still on board. I'm still going to get this one, but I'm on the fence whether I'm going to keep getting them. So issue 6 could be it for me. Cover A, we got a cover B option there, and we got a cover C, as well as a 1 in 25 here. So pick whichever one you like. I kind of like the fact that we're teasing, Gambit, etc. So we'll see. We'll see. No, I'm on the fence about those. These are books that are, they're not on my pull list. These are things I'm going to leave on the shelf, but I still want to cover them so we keep up together on what's going on in the comic world. I still like to know what's going on in books, even if I'm not currently reading them, as well as some of you guys might be reading these books, despite the fact that I'm not. I don't want to just be my personal pull list the whole show, so I try to grab some bigger titles and titles that we all probably want to keep abreast of, like where they're going ultimately with the stories. So with that said, on the shelf this week, despite the fact that I've gotten a few of these just for the cover alone, because I don't know if I've really read much of this storyline, and that's Poison Ivy. But we are 34 issues into Poison Ivy's solo run here, and it can't all just be for covers. It's got to be part of the story, too. Even though it seems like she's fighting the same other plant-based characters each and every month, I don't know what's going on inside the guts of this book. Plenty of good covers, though. And that's kind of where this has been on the Cheesecake list month after month and etc. on my show here. But I'm just letting you know it's being left on the shelf, but I think we still need to look at the covers at the very least. Even if we're not going to talk about what's inside that I haven't read, look at these. Some of these covers are still really, really nice. So Swaby, awesome cover there. We got a C cover option here. I dig this with the pinks. It makes everything pop. I like it. Interesting 1 in 25. Very detailed with the background there. And then we'll take Sway's B cover there and make that the 1 in 50 virgin. So just keeping you abreast of all the covers that are out there. Now, I mentioned how Secret 6, I was out after like issue 2 because it wasn't the Secret 6 that I wanted, despite the fact that these two are part of the Secret 6 that I wanted. Catman and Deadshot, I like that. I still need Ragman back, but we're getting there. Maybe I need to dip back in. I don't know. But cover A here, Secret 6 snafu. I don't know if it's enough to get me back in because then I'm distracted by this. I don't know what's this. Is she doing the thriller dance? I don't know what's going on here, but the rave cover makes me think, okay, this is not for me after all. Like as much as I want Catman and Deadshot, Ragman and Bishop and the Parademon, etc. The original Cheshire Scandal, that crew's not all in here. I don't even think I need to read about raves, which is why I don't get Extraordinary X-Men these days either. It's just not my thing. I'm an old man now. I'm just not into that. C cover's kind of nice. It still reads more like a design cover or like a Brady Bunch. Like, The youngest one in curls. I don't know, but it's kind of nice, but it's still not enough to get me back on board. Now, the next title is something that's just not in my wheelhouse at all. Again, at my age, I am a little old for turtles. It was my little brother's thing. It was more turtles was more for him. I'm granted, I saw all the movies in the late '90s or early '90s, etc. And the cartoon, watched plenty of the cartoon, but reading the comics, it just wasn't my thing. And Naruto, also after my time. So the mashup of these two, it's not really for me. But I know there are a lot of people who like these both projects and probably like them together. Multiple covers here from IDW. We got A's and B's, and we can keep rolling on with C's and D's, and I think we got some incentives here too. We got 1 in 25, we got 1 in 50, we got a 1 in 75, and even a 1 in 100. That's a lot of covers. I do like the Freddie Williams there with that 1 in 100, but I'm not paying 1 in 100 prices. I'm not even getting the regular book because, again, these aren't my, this isn't nostalgia for me. But God bless you if it is for you. I mean, it's plenty of people this is for. It's just not me because, again, it missed me. Missed my age range. Another title that kind of missed me, but I keep hearing good things about that maybe one day I'll get back on there and check this out, is Radiant Black. Compared to something similar to Invincible, I guess, as some people have told me it's like, in a sense. I don't know. But the whole Radiant Black little corner of the Image universe is something I know very little about because I just not keeping up to date on it. But for those who are, issue 34 is coming out this week. 2 covers here, A cover, you get a B cover, and there is a 1 in 25 foil option here as well. So that's what you got to keep up with if you are on board for Radiant Black. All new Venom. After that whole tease in the storyline of we played, who is all new Venom? Who is it? Who is it? And then it turned out to be MJ, and I just don't care. So I'm not a huge Venom guy either. It's just a title and a series I've not kept up with through all the mythos and everything. It's just too much, too many Venom titles. So it's no thanks. I kind of keep paying attention, so I kind of know what's going on a little bit, but I'm not really into it and checking this thing out. So Anti-Venom, Flash Thompson, I don't know. We'll see how this all goes. Couple of covers though. You got a cover A. You got homage there to the wedding issue. I don't know. I guess she's marrying or merging with the symbiote at this point. I guess that's the implication. But we got a B cover there. We got a 1 in 25 option, which looks like many other Venom covers with just Venom jumping through a cityscape. Yeah. I mean, it looks just this. I thought this was exactly the same cover as the Carnage issue just came out last week, but it's not. A little different. Similar pose. And then there's a 1 in 50, which is that homage to the wedding anniversary. What is it? ASM Annual 21. We got that. In a Virgin is the 1 in 50. So, moving on. For folks who are fans of mashup characters and really were banking in on Hell Hulk, who, as far as I can tell, that Hell Hulk book is still doing all right. Like, people are still looking for it and collecting it. But here we are. Wolverine issue 7 now. A couple issues in from the debut of Hell Hulk. I don't know if this is any good or not because this just is not a title for me. I don't know. That said, I do kind of like the B cover here. I don't know. Just look really cool with the skull and the flames. I get it. You're mixing, Wolverine, Hell Hulk, whatever. You're mashing these characters. It is a cool designs, and some of these covers could look cool, but I don't know if it's enough to entice me back into reading this. Because then I see covers like this, and I just go, nah, thanks. I could care less. So, with that said, let's move on to another storyline that I'm just not really loving these days, and that's One World Under Doom. Hoped so much for this, but it's really, really long, and there's a lot going on. No core title to worry about this week, thankfully, but there are some side titles that you may or may not want to pick up. So, with that said, I kind of like this Doctor Strange of Asgard so far, so I might get this just to keep going with it, because it is kind of interesting to see Doctor Strange in a different area. While Doom's the Sorcerer Supreme here, you get to see Doctor Strange being Sorcerer Supreme elsewhere. It's kind of interesting. So, kind of curious there. Couple of covers. A cover, you got a B cover, and then we've got Red Hulk as our other option this week. So I've said it before, surprised that this was a decent read. I'm about an issue or so behind though now, but I'm interested enough to see how this thing wraps up. or if it's going to wrap up. I don't think this is an ongoing. I think it's going to end. But so far, what I have read, I've enjoyed. Surprisingly, again, did not expect a lot out of this title. But when I read the first couple issues, I was like, okay, well, I like the angle they're going here. But Red Hulk issue 5 coming out with cover A, which is not bad. Cover B is really messed up looking here. I mean, it's got like a very body horror, reminding me of Weird Science, what Chet was turned into by, Anyway, really messed up looking. And then there is also John Boy Myers, which is kind of cool. But I didn't know Red Hulk had eye beams. But again, I am a little behind. So maybe he picked up eye blasts at some point. Cool. We'll find out. With that said, let's get on to new number ones. So I already mentioned a couple new number ones with Imperial and what's to come. A couple of number ones already mentioned and covered in other segments, but here are some others that you might want to keep an eye out for as you go to your shop this week. So we are going to start off with DC, because we are getting the first part to the sequel to Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. First series was kind of interesting. I enjoyed it. I guess we can read more. We're getting it, so let's check it out. Here's the cover A, which is, it's all right. I kind of like the two in the back. The Trinity in the front is, it's not bad, but I don't know. It doesn't all work together for me. Maybe it's just too red. The palette of the color is just not hitting it for me. But the B cover is not bad. I kind of like that. We got, I think it's Ghidorah, right? And you got Rodan. You got Mothra, I guess. We got King Shark. A lot of cool characters, villains here. I kind of like it. And then I believe this is a connecting cover, possibly. One of these is a connecting cover. I don't remember which one it is. Might be this one. But here we go with Godzilla in the background. Kind of fun. We got Lex in his armor. There's a sketch cover option, obviously, because I always have sketch cover options these days. We've got this panel split by Green Lantern's lens flare, which is also kind of fun. But you got Godzilla and you got Ghidorah and you got Flash. Not bad. It's, again, not my favorite of the bunch. I think the second one, that mustard yellow one, is probably my favorite. And then we do have a foil by John Jiang, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't like foil too much if I can avoid it. I don't like paying the extra. I mean, it's $7.99. I mean, it's bad enough that it's going to cost, $5 for the other cover, and it's $6 for the B variants, and then it's going to be $8 to get foil on it. It's all right. Surprisingly, there's no 1 in 25, but there is a 1 in 50. So we do have a 1 in 50, and it's this. Got Harley. It's not too bad. I don't know why. I think that's supposed to be Rodan fighting Godzilla, and it kind of looks like one of the Dark Crystal characters to me. It looks like one of the Dark Crystal characters, but all right. I mean, good enough. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. And then we'll take that cover A and take the trade dress off of it, and that'll be our 1 in 100, because DC likes to copy Marvel in that way, I guess, too. Easy 1 in 100s for us. Let's just make them virgins of the cover A's. Cool. With that said, Straczynski strikes again with another weird pairing. This pairing is not so weird, though. This one, I might be curious to check this out. I mean, we do know that Cosmic Ghost Rider did end up being a Herald of Galactus, so why not regular Ghost Rider? But here we got Ghost Rider versus Galactus. The Power of Worlds battles the Spirit of Vengeance. Now they're actually going head-to-head. And let's forget that Ghost Rider, while he is just a flaming skull dude on a motorcycle, he is also more of a demonic presence. So it's something that can be amped up to the level of, I guess, facing a Galactus one-on-one. I don't know. At first glance, you wouldn't think these two would face off as equals in any way, but I guess we can make an argument for it. But here's a couple of covers. Here's a C cover as well. I mean, we'll check it out. We'll see what happens here. But there we go. A, B cover, at a 1 in 25. Pick your poison at this point. Now, another number one coming out here. We have Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. So we're just going to mash up everything and mess around with the Ultimate Universe again. Because why not? I mean, the maker has made this world. Let's start messing around with things. So here we go. Miles Morales at the forefront of this thing. We got more. If you want to read more of the text, there's some more of it there. But ultimately, it's not more ultimate stuff. And I don't know if I got the space or the patience to keep reading more. Personally, again, I've liked some of the stories as they started, and then I lost interest after a couple of issues. So I don't know how much I got on board for this. But we got a blank. Pretty cool Miles cover here. I kind of like this one. It's not bad. I like this group shot. We got Miles and Peter and then Richard, because he's a Spider-Man too already. I guess Carrie Andrews doing these. And I really like this foil. It's Kale New, I think. I don't like foil, but I like the layout of this. So on its own, it looks good. Hopefully the foil doesn't distract or take away from it, because I do like this cover, and it'll probably be the one I ask for when I go pick up my books at the shop. And then there's a 1 in 25. If you want to get a 1 in 25, there's another 1 in 25, because why not have two 1 in 25s, while we're at it? And then let's, of course, yes, take one of those other covers, make it a virgin, and there is our 1 in 100, because that's what we do now. Now, going over to Boom. Boom has a new title, I think, taking up that slot that Hello Darkness has now left in all of our monthly budgets. So maybe give this a shot. I don't know. But Be Not Afraid, issue 1 is coming out from Boom. And I don't know a lot about this title, apart from reading a little synopsis there. It seems a little bit of a creepy, horror-ish type storyline. I mean, right here, this image reminds me of that preacher dude from Poltergeist 2. Remember that guy? He always creeped me out, even when I was a kid. So I'm getting that kind of vibe. I mean, the eyeball in the crucifix is kind of messed up. I do like this cover quite a bit, because it is unsettling. I like to look at. It does bother me a little bit. But yeah, so I'll give this a shot, personally. We got this cover A, which, again, I like. This will be the one I get. But other options here. We got a B cover with a lot of symbolism and eyeballs and wings and whatnot. We got a Jay Lee here with the little demon kid. That's also messed up. Then we do have a FOC, I believe, virgin version of the cover A. I believe that it will be there, open order. I mean, I don't think it's a 1 per store unlockable. I think it's just an FOC unlockable that you should be able to get. There is a version of that B cover, which is the 1 in 10, if you want to get that one. So we got a version of that for a 1 in 10. The 1 in 15 is new art. And again, it's that preacher dude and some messed up faces and just some creepy stuff. Hell is real. All right, 1 in 15. Let's bring the Jay Lee back. We'll take the trade dress off of that. That'll be our virgin 1 in 20. Yeah, it's Boom. They make a lot of covers there too. And then we got another 1 in 30 here, which is the back of this preacher's head again, doing the door-to-door knocking like in Poltergeist 2. I don't know. With that said, moving on, let's check out facsimiles. So what do we have in the facsimile world today? We have a handful of stuff. So we do have a few things that we could cover here, starting off first with Superman in Action Comics and Manchester Black and what was it? The Elite? Is that what they were? I can't remember. This is a pretty good story, though. Pretty good issue. One that you used to be able to find out there in those cheap boxes. And then Manchester Black got kind of interesting, and people started collecting and hoping he's going to get adapted, etc., whatever. But now we've got a facsimile. So if you couldn't find the original, you get a facsimile of this Bradstreet cover, which, again, it's a pretty good issue. They're also giving you multiple options on this facsimile, including a blank sketch cover, if you want to get sketches done on it, a action figure cover featuring Manchester Black there, if you want to get that. And then we do have a foil version of the regular cover. We'll make all shiny and foily if you want to get that. Up to you. Also, moving on, we're getting near the end, but the first Hush storyline is getting the facsimile treatment throughout, and we're getting there. 618 is next. And yes, regular facsimile and a shiny foil version for $7 if you want it. In what I am thinking is only a reason to make reprints and exclusive covers for this book, we're getting a reprint of Veronica 202, which in itself was a popular book and a hard to find book. This one used to be a tough find for you to go and dig in boxes of those Archie books. It's first Kevin, I can't remember, is it Kevin Kelly? Is that his name? Anyway, Kevin first shows up here. But I think it's just, again, an excuse for them to make a lot of different exclusives. I think that's why we're getting these facsimiles at Archie these days, because otherwise I don't know what the rush is for them to be doing this all of a sudden. But they're doing it. So Veronica 202, getting the facsimile treatment. If you don't have the original, get this one. 3D, I don't know. These occasionally come out, so I've got no other place to put them. So it's kind of a facsimile, but it's in 3D. So Deadpool #1 in 3D, classic from 1997. It's a wraparound cover as well. So I'll show you that while we're at it. What the hell? Cool. Get it if you want it. These things aren't cheap, but if you want to pay a couple extra bucks to read it in 3D, have at it. Now, we're going to go to later prints. We do have a handful of these to go over as well, so let's get right to it. with our second printings of some interesting indie books. We've got Aubrey Sitterson's Free Planet. We had Aubrey on TAC not that long ago talking about this title. I like it so far. It's already got the second print coming out here. So it did well to start. I think we're getting issue 2 coming out soon. And yeah, or did we get 2 already? I'm not sure. We didn't get 2 already. It's coming out soon. But we did get the second print for issue 1, so you can play catch up if you missed out on it. Out of Alcatraz apparently is doing well out of Oni because we're getting multiple printings here now with the second print for issue 2. I did not read this title. I do like the Alcatraz Escape from Alcatraz movie, you know, the old school Clint Eastwood flick. I don't think that's what this is about. I mean, it might be, but I don't know. It's kind of getting me curious now that we're getting extra printings. That means it's selling well enough to get these later printings that maybe I should check it out. If any of you have read this, please let me know what you think in the comments below and tell me if I should be checking this out or what it's about. Etc. Adventure Time. I've said it before. Not really my thing. Just I guess too old. Didn't hit my wheelhouse. Like I wasn't watching this in college or anything like that. Like South Park was new when I was in college. So Adventure Time, a little bit after me. With that said, we're getting a second print for issue 1 of the new series, second print for issue 2 of the new series, and I think issue 3 comes out this week as well. But you can get these later prints and catch up if you want. We're getting a 4th printing for G.I. Joe #1, the Energon universe side of things. If you haven't read it yet, now's your chance. It's a good run. I like it personally, but I don't know if we need all these printings because some of these just seem a bit superfluous because for one reason or another, we're getting a 12th printing. 12th for Transformers #1. Who hasn't gotten this yet? That we need a 12th printing. But okay, if you want to milk the OCD collector that got to have everything, go ahead. Keep taking advantage or keep making printings, getting another $5 out of these people every month you can. I just think it's, I don't know, unnecessary. There's 11 other printings. There's got to be copies out there for you to pick up that you can't be like, man, I can't find a Transformers 1. I just don't get it. But 12 printings. Yep. Then we got a 4th printing for issue 5 because, well, who can keep track where we're at? We just get random printings of random issues just thrown out here every so often. I know they have metrics and things like that once they hit certain prices or sale points, they say, oh, well, let's do another printing. I get that, but to me, it seems overdone because, seriously, I don't think we need a 12th printing for Void Rivals #1 as well, but we got one. Yes, this almost made a WTF section, but I did not make a WTF section this week because I didn't want to be too negative and be complaining too much. But I still can't hide my feelings about us getting 12 printings of some of these books because I really don't think we need them. But with that said, Spider-Man versus Predator, #1, second print. If you missed this, pick this up. Give this a read. It's messed up. I'm curious to keep going with this series and this new Predator, this Skinner. He's kind of demented. He's a little off. There is a 1 in 25, which is cool. The Ryan Brown cover, which was on the cover A, but now a version of it. Looks really nice. I don't know if I'm going to be paying the prices that's end up going for because it's limited nature, and it'll just be expensive because of that. But it's a cool cover. Wolverine 8, which is Legacy #400, is also getting a second print treatment. Now, why do we know this book? It's not just because it follows up the Romulus and Wolverine fight that was built up and then didn't end up being very much of a fight. But, it is what it was. It's because of this cover. Remember the Daniel Warren Johnson cover? Well, now it is the cover on the second print as well. It's just black and white with no red title, trade dress. I think the trade dress was red on the other one. It's fine. It's just as good as the other one, but if you want to get the second print, go ahead. And if you really want to pay extra, look for the 1 in 25, because then that's a virgin version of said cover, which again, looks pretty cool. It's been on pre-order for a while now, so I got to imagine those who wanted it were able to secure a copy. But if not, it'll be something to keep an eye on for this week as well, because it is something I can think of that some people will pay a premium for, at least at the outset. Will it hold? Well, that's a different story, and that's not to be called now. We'll see how that plays out. But those are our second printings, later printings for the week as we roll on to now the special variant sections. So this month over at DC, they are starting a George Perez Legacy variant cover section. or series. Just some classic images of some classic DC characters done by a classic DC artist, George Perez. Some of these are pretty cool. Like I'll admit, I kind of like them. They look kind of like trading cards. So here you go. But tell me this doesn't look like a trading card. It might even be a trading card. I don't know where the art originally comes from because unfortunately, George has passed. But this old art, wherever it was from, it's still pretty cool. Black Canary. Just saying. This is on Birds of Prey 22. DC is also going to start us off for Pride Month. It is June, so it is Pride Month, and we are getting a bunch of stuff, both from Marvel and DC and Indies, etc., to celebrate. Starting off first with, we're going to go over to DC, and they have a special dropping first. The special is just their annual special, DC Pride 2025. It's a $10 book, big anthology thing. Some of these have done well with some of the incentives, like the variant covers. And there's a couple of cool covers here. This is the cover A, which is fine. And then there's more explaining what it is. It is $10, so it's 88 pages. It is going to be a bigger book. I do like some of the other covers. This looks like a Tiger Beat, Teen Beat sort of magazine cover. That's kind of fun. The Sozo Micah is really nice with the Harley and Ivy. That's their go-to for selling some of these covers that people like to collect. Pairing these two together. And then you got the 1 in 25 here as well, the Alan Scott Green Lantern. So there are your options for this book, for their 2025 Pride book. But now you've got some other series and other titles getting their covers. So we're going to go to JSA 8, and here we go. Again, we got a little more Alan Scott. We got Obsidian in there as well. Poison Ivy, featuring Poison Ivy. This looks like it's probably going to connect with Harley because I can see Harley's hand right there, and it just looks like a natural connecting cover. I'll see it when I see the other one. But that's what we got so far to start off the month of June. But as I mentioned, it's not just DC celebrating the month. We'll start over at Marvel, but with Star Wars first, because Star Wars also does their own little thing. Now, this week, we've got 2 Star Wars books to celebrate Pride Month. Starting off first with Star Wars Jedi Knights. I think this is issue 4. And then we've got a High Republic Fear the Jedi issue as well. So we got 2 options to start us off. Here are the other books we got. I think one coming the 11th, one coming the 18th, and one coming the 25th. So what's that going to end up being, like 5? I feel like there might be a 6 in there somewhere. But no, there we go. Something to keep an eye out for if you want to collect all of these. There's not a lot, just a handful. So these are the first 2. Marvel, on their own, outside of Star Wars, does also have a few covers. And we're going to start off, before we get to any the Voices books that they're going to release and some of the other one-shot specials they'll have, just variant covers. So the variant covers for this week are on 2 titles, I believe, starting off with Immortal Thor 24. We got Loki here. And then we've also got on the X-Men spotlighting Prodigy. So you can see there with the characters that they are spotlighting, they put their names down near the trade dress or near the barcode as well to tell you who they're spotlighting. We've only got a handful of these here as well coming. This week we had 2. Next week we'll have 3 issues. And then near the end of the month, we'll get one on Deadpool 15. So what is that? 6. So 6 covers to collect them all. Again, not a big set to collect. Moving away from there, we got another iconic variant this week. So Marvel Iconic, these Todd Knock white background covers that I don't know how many there will be. We just keep getting them randomly. And this week, I believe we got Star-Lord coming on the Imperial book. So where is it? Oh, there it is. So we got Star-Lord there on Imperial #1 with his pretty cool goatee there, I guess, growing in. Maybe it's a full beard, but it looks like a goatee from here, almost Green Arrow-ish. Now, Disney and Marvel are also doing Phineas and Ferb covers. Not a lot. It looks like there might only be 4 coming, but we get the first one starting off here. Marvel's doing a lot this month as far as theme variants go. As you can already see, there's a lot of little subsets being played out throughout the month of June here. So I'm trying to keep up with them as best I can. But here we go with Phineas and Ferb Magic on X-Men #17. This is not the final cover. This is just the art and what we can guess to how it's going to be laid out. But yeah, again, Phineas and Ferb isn't really my wheelhouse either, but I know some folks like it, so we're going to cover it, as there is our first part. Our next one's not till the 18th. We'll get another one the 25th, and then there's a final still to be revealed in the weeks ahead. So, like I said, I think there'll be 4 when all's said and done, and this might bleed into July, but we'll see. Moving on. We're still not done. We still got more. Marvel's also doing fantastic variants. So we got each of the individuals done. Well, no, I'm sorry. We didn't get them all done because we did Torch, we did Thing, we did Invisible Woman. This would be our Stretcho. So this is Mr. Fantastic for our Fantastic variants. So that's what we got to do here first before I think we'll get another run of Fantastic Four as a team variants at some point. But for Mr. Fantastic, our first of the series, the first of the set will be a Ghost Spider book. So here we go, our stretchy Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. Okay. Not a lot of these coming, as you can see here. This is the first, and we'll get a handful more as the month continues. But there we go. At least they're limiting how many covers they're doing. Thankfully, they're not pushing too many of these on us because it's a lot. Because, again, I'm still not done. We are also getting Bring on the Bad Guys this month. So we're getting a series of villain variants here as well out of Marvel. So Bring on the Bad Guys. Marvel's done this before, but now they got a new little subset, and let's take a look at what we got to start here, as we got a handful to start off the month, and I even got a short coming Wednesday to cover most of these. But first up, all new Venom. Boom. Abomination fighting Venom. Cool. And these are some unlikely mashups of villains fighting heroes that you may not see, and others are still classic matchups, but like Crossbones Spidey isn't something you see all the time. So this is an interesting pairing. Ryan Brown, Bushman fighting Daredevil. It seems like these two should have faced off. They seem like in the same, with the Moon Knight kind of angle. Like it seems like the same wheelhouse. But hey, it's still something different, something new. I kind of like this one with the red. Red kind of pops. But then we have the obvious. Like, I mean, well, this is just Dormammu and Doctor Strange. I mean, that's just natural. So that one's not as fun. But then we got Onslaught and Thor. Okay, I wouldn't see these two fighting each other. That's different. And then we've got an X-Men cover here with Loki. And I believe they crossed paths before, but you don't often see the Asgardians and the mutants mixing it up. We did have that Simonson special way back when, but not often is all I'm saying. But point being, first chunk of a handful. Next week, we're going to get one. The 18th, we're getting a bunch, and then we'll get a few more than the 25th. I think there's like 20 in total. Thereabouts. So buckle up for a month of Bring on the Bad Guys, as that seems to be the big theme variant for the month for Marvel, despite the fact that there were a half dozen other ones, as you saw. So in order to wrap us up, try to get here in around an hour, but we still got cheesecake covers to do, and there's some interesting stuff here. I've tried to limit the section down a little bit, moving some of the old staples, the Poison Ivies and the Phoenixes and the Harleys, to other segments if they didn't quite fit exactly Cheesecake on its own. But there's still plenty to be had here with Red Sonja attacks Mars. So Linsner, cool. You got a Jay Lee covering up with the alien heads. That's kind of clever. You got a Greg Land, and note she's not doing the O face. And that's it. I mean, there's other variants of these, variations of these three covers, but we only got the three. Antarctic is giving us Critter, number 8, as we see someone doing their best J. Scott Campbell. That's what it looks like. It looks like somebody aping Campbell style. Then we're also getting Kaiju Cooking. I don't know exactly what this is, but it felt like it fit because of the distress. And then we've got, Sharknado, Megalodon behind her. I don't know, but Kaiju Cooking, sure. Then we do have Zenescope's 20th anniversary cover gallery. So you don't even need to pretend. This is just pinups, just covers. Have at it, enjoy it. There we go, cover A. There's a cover B option here as well with, I think it's Al Rio with the Little Red Riding Hood. Well, she ain't that little. Sticking with Red Riding Hood, there is a Campbell. This one could be tricky to get because, hey, you don't often see Campbell doing Zenescope covers. He's done it before, but not often. So this could be one to keep an eye on. And then there is a little bit more risque version of our cover A. That'll be our 1 in 20 if you want to go that way. So we take a little bit of the frills off, and there you have it. Now I'm going to try to limit the next bit because there are way too many covers, and I didn't want to cover them all. But I'm going to do my best. Heatseeker. So Heatseeker starting up a new series, Exposed, a gun hunting series. And this is Cheesecake at its finest, realistically. I mean, that's all this is with the I mean, there's a story inside of here, but to be honest, I can't remember the last time I actually read one of these, but there are a lot of really good covers. If you like this sort of thing. Art Germ here. There are foil versions, etc., and virgin versions of some of these. There's a Perillo on this one as well. We got these two. Oh, that should have been the Perillo with the trade dress, because there is a virgin and there's a foil version of the Perillo. We got this one here. It's more of an animated style. There's a cosplay cover here as well. And then we've got some more with, there's like some blind bags. There's some poly bags where you can't see inside. You don't know what you're going to get, because some of them are a little bit on the more risque side. But here, I'm just trying to show you all the different cover art that's there. I'm not going to go into the depth of, like I said, the black and white versions or the foils of everything, etc., but just show you some of the variations, as you can see here, like that one, because a slight variation on the pose. But then we'll pull back like the Art Germ. There's foil versions and virgin versions, but then there's also this kind of sketch version. So this is this computer sketch, I guess. But you can see the difference there. More options here. Look at how many covers this thing has. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, so we got this one here with the cleverly placed water bubbles. Then with no cleverly placed anything, there's black bars here because we're keeping this suitable for everyone, but there are not suitable for work covers out there. So you can get this one with it exposed, as well as this one here. We'll go back when you got that. So yeah, pick whatever you like. There's like $10 polybag versions of some of these things and very many variations. Get what you like if you're into it. That said, Pop Kill is wrapping up with issue 4. I got the whole series via the Kickstarter, but now that they reprinted it, I had to go and chase most of these again because they did some cool covers on this, and it was a good story to begin with. Just if you want to give it a read. But here's the cover A for number 4. Cover B is not bad. But I think the one that everybody will want for this one will be the Campbell on issue 4, which it said frisky version. It's not technically, everything's pretty much covered, but it is a little more risque, but I think they call it the frisky cover. So pick that one up if you want that Campbell there as well. Now, to wrap us up, we're just going to go to covers that I like. These are just a handful of random covers that didn't fit anywhere else that I thought deserved an extra mention, or at least a showcase, because I thought the art was cool. Starting off with, what do I got? I think I got a Mecha Godzilla starting us off here. Oh yeah, Godzilla Heist. Yeah, we actually got 2. So Mecha Godzilla here by Bob Eggleton. Don't know much about the artist. I just like this cover. I think it's kind of cool. As I do like the B cover here as well, which I think is just kind of a fun homage here. I mean, you got Godzilla, you know, the storyline with them trying to do a heist during a kaiju attack. That's kind of the basis of this, and this cover kind of fits perfectly with them doing with the masks, and it is a pretty fun homage to Point Break. If you guys didn't know that, can't go wrong with a Point Break homage. Then we got this jump scare, which I think somebody recommended this before. I haven't read this yet, but this cover is really solid. I just like the detailed line work here. I like it. So I might have to give this a shot and go back and read this Colin Bunn series. But Danny Luckert doing this issue 4 cover, it just looks nice. Scorched. Yeah, there's occasionally good Scorch cover here. I'm not reading She-Spawn or this title or whatever it is, but this Von Randall, it's pretty cool. I like the look of it. I like the layout. Whether this be She-Spawn or a Red Sonja cover or whatever it might be, I just like this one. All right? So I felt like it deserved a little spot. Just like, finally, Mark Brooks. Mark Brooks here doing these Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider covers with her with the bubble space helmets. They've been great throughout. I like this one too, with her sitting on the throne now. I'm always a sucker for a throne cover, so this is a cool one as well. With that said, they're good, but they're not the best, because that's what we have coming up next. The best of the week. And these are my favorite covers of the week. If you've seen the shorts that I released, the one earlier today, the other one for variants will drop tomorrow. But to tell you my favorites, I'll just tell you right now at the end of the show. And for my favorite variant, I think I mentioned it during the show, it's the G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe 1 in 10. Francis Portela has been doing these 1 in 10 negative space variants on the Real American Hero series, and they've all been great. You had the Snake Eyes, the Dawn Marino Snake Eyes. I think we had a Baroness in there as well. Now we got Scarlet. I think it was a Cobra Commander as well. Great run of covers for these 1 in 10s. I think they'll probably be sought after down the line as well. I like them, so I just got them all. And regular cover wise, again, I could have picked the 1 in 50 version of this because that one's even better. But on its own, I'm fine paying the $4.99 and not paying a 1 in 50 incentive price for this cover by Puppeteer Lee. I just dig this. I just think it's a well done magic. It's not too, I mean, yes, it is a bit cheesecakey, but it's not over the top because it's still kind of springing into action. You still get that demon claw and the darker side of things mixed in as well. But those are my 2 favorites of the week. Tell me what your favorites were for the week. And with that, I'm all done. That's all I got for you. So I want to thank you for all the support and thank you all for stopping by and checking this out. Again, make recommendations on books that I called for during the show, or just anything you've been reading that you think we all should be checking out. Because again, this is a community after all. I want us all to be talking comics here on this series and this show. I want us all to be up to date about all the stuff we're looking forward to. Again, on New Comic Book Wednesday. And I say we, all of us, not just me, what we're all looking forward to, because all of our tastes aren't the same, but that doesn't mean anyone is more right or wrong than anybody else. So sometimes somebody might recommend something that might not have been what you thought it was, and then you get to find yourself a nice little surprise and a decent read. So with that all said, thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right?